Good morning. I'm saying good morning, even though I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this. But anyway, let's start with our greeting before we start chatting. Hi, it's Musings with Mookie. Right now I'm putting on mascara. Well, I've already put the mascara on, and now I am just separating my eyelashes with another brush. No one tells you that you have to make sure you don't blink too hard until the mascara dries. And mascara is like one of my main things I put on. I don't really put on a lot of makeup, but I will do mascara and I will do the eyebrows. It's just, I tried to do lashes and that really just felt too complicated a task to do often. I used to think I didn't have eyelashes, but I just need to straighten them and put some mascara on them to help them look a little longer. My eyebrows disappear in pictures, so I put on some, what is it called? Eyebrow pencil? I don't know. But I draw on my eyebrows with a pencil to help them stand out more, because they're there, even though they look, darker than me, maybe because they're mine. They're there, but the tail ends, because they're sparse there, they don't show up in pictures. And I guess I wonder, or I'm concerned with them showing up in pictures, because when they show up in pictures, they give me like a gentler look, or maybe kind of mature. I really don't even know why I got on here talking about makeup, because like I said, I don't wear a lot of it, and there's only two things I really wear. And your face has to be relaxed while you're doing it. And while I'm talking or musing, I make my face unrelaxed. But I got up this morning in a strange bed. Not a strange bed as if I don't know how I got here, because I'm perfectly aware of how I got here. A strange bed meaning it's not my bed. I'm on a little staycation somewhere, and the guy looked homeless. He didn't look homeless at first, and I really wasn't checking out his gear or whatever. But he was trying to make conversation with me, and I had just come there to sit and rest. I had a long drive up here. And so I'm sitting, and the only thing in my head I could think to say was, I just want to be left alone. It wasn't his fault, but I just wanted to be left alone. I was at home for the past few days by myself, but I still wasn't felt like I was left alone. I wanted to be left alone in the public arena. Like, I chose a bench to sit by myself. I didn't sit by anybody. I didn't make eye contact with anybody. I just watched the water go up and down. That's it. I wasn't trying to engage with any one thing for too long. A polite glance, a slight smile, and I just keep going. Nothing really has been piquing my interest. And so they begin to talk. I begin to listen, because I was going to be forced into this conversation, even though I was giving vague, dry answers. I mean, my greeting was semi-polite, but not polite enough that I want to sit down and engage in conversation, because I went back to staring out into the abyss, looking at people. Why is my bottom lip so dry? What is going on? I go out and look into the abyss. It wasn't in the biz. I was somewhere just sitting. And so I'm wondering why. How did I get invited into this conversation I didn't want to be in? Because I had just sat down. I was not ready to get up yet. I had just imbibed and took a stroll and was not looking to chat up anyone about anything. I don't know if I should go with a chocolate lip or anything or something else. But I didn't want to be hounded about anything. I didn't want to answer any questions. I didn't want to be interrogated. And I felt like I was being interrogated. I was just sitting in the park by myself and someone is leeching information from me. At least that's how I felt. And maybe they needed someone to talk to because I was not looking. I was dressed. I had on a dress. It's an odd kind of winter here, but I had on basically, I don't know. It's not a sun. I don't know what the hell it is, but it was a form-fitting dress. I don't know the exact type or whatever, but I was just comfortable, you know. Perimenopausal, sweating every single time my body feels like it. I just wanted to relax in public because people said I need to get out the house. He gets it, and he says something. I just want to know your hobbies, and I look at him strangely like, for what? Why do you want to know my hobbies? I don't live. Where do you live? Hours away. Where are you from? Not from Georgia. Like, I'm disinviting myself from this conversation. I'm not smiling. I'm very, like, I just wanted, the time to sit in peace and I think about how people get caught up with not getting the attention they want and take it as a form of disrespect or unkindness. But I had just sat down, and no one would know I had just sat down. And I had been driving for quite a while. I had to. It just hasn't been the start of a good experience, but I know it'll go further along as I get used to trying to be out in public and also be alone. I have to focus on some things. I have a book to close out, but I am trying to relax because I'm supposed to be relaxing. I don't know. Maybe you all felt, you just see someone sitting alone, and I almost felt like they felt like dating questions, but we weren't on a date or nothing. I think that's why it's important to be like, if you're somewhere, see somebody, you be like, can I have, hi, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. Can I have your number? And then you go about your business. Because why are we having an impromptu date and I have these are date type questions because I'm going to complete in showing an interest in you by giving you a call. Besides, I don't want to talk. I just want to sit there. I wasn't going to date him anyway. And then he just gave off, like my body kept saying danger, alarm, alarm, alarm. My mind kept saying alarm, alarm, alarm. So I had to get up out of here. Because he wasn't going to let me sit there and quiet, and it was increasingly making me feel anxious. So I said, you know what? Well, I'm going to talk to you later. I'm getting chilly out here because the temperature is dropping. And I went back to my hotel. It's okay to excuse yourself from a situation. It may seem abrupt, but if you're already stressed or whatever, excuse yourself the way you like. Well, I hope you all have a fair rest of your day, whatever that may seem like. And I'll post it whenever I get a chance. Talk to you later. Or something. Muse to you later. Ciao. Bye.